here. I'm back. I'm here to start a new reading vlog. I will be honest, last week I struggled a little bit with my reading. I was incredibly unfocused and couldn't find anything that I really wanted to read. And then I went away for the weekend, and that sort of kick-started me into reading some more because I picked up some really good books. I also haven't been listening to any audiobooks, so it's been a bit of a weird previous week, and that is why I hope this week is a little bit better. Tomorrow is also my birthday, and I have some fun things planned this week, hopefully, if the weather cooperates. But I do want to vlog this week, so I don't really know what I'm going to read, but the book I'm in the middle of reading is From Little Tokyo with Love by Sarah Kuhn. I read this actually when I went away, but I picked it back up. I got up to page 300 in this book, and it sort of reminds me of sort of like a modern fairy tale, but you basically follow this main character named Rivka, I think that's how you say her name, and she starts to believe that her mother, that she's been told for many, many years is not dead, is actually this famous Asian actress. She is dealing with a lot in her family. It's very much like a setup of a Cinderella. She lives with her aunt. She has two stepsisters, she calls them. But when a young man who's an actor on this woman Grace's movie, who she believes is her mother, offers to help her find her mother, they go on an adventure together. It's really, really sweet. It's just a very, very quick, it's not a quick story, but it also talks a lot about being Japanese American and how if you're like half Japanese American, like which is the main character is, how isolated you can be. And I think that the conversation all the characters are having in this story are really like different, and how everyone sort of expects something from you when you are Japanese American, or someone has expectations for you, which I think is really interesting. I think the romance is just super cute, and I like the setting a lot. Also, she's a judo champion, and that's a hobby I haven't really read before. But yeah, I got up to page about 300. My plan for tomorrow is to choose an audiobook that I want to actually read or listen to. I'm in the middle of listening to like about three, so I'm going to choose one next week and just sort of pick it. I'm in the middle of reading The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Henning, Rise to the Sun by Leah Johnson, and also The Falconer by Elizabeth May. So those are the three books that I'm departing and debating on reading. It's been a bit of a stressful listening week because I've been really, really unfocused. I'm also watching Nancy Drew, which is my TV show that I'm watching. But yeah, my goal is to read at least into page 400 before I head to bed. I also spent the entire weekend walking, so my legs are shot. I twisted my neck, so if you see me here sitting very, very straight, it's because I hurt the side of my neck. But yeah, so that's the plan. I did get a couple of books. You guys will see that in my book haul. I think I'm going back to the city tomorrow. We will see. The weather is not my friend right now. But that is the plan right now. So I'm going to read. I got up to page 300. My goal is to get up to page 400 before I head to bed. It's only 6 o'clock. Definitely doable. So I am going to go read a little bit more. And when I get up to page 400, I'll give you guys a quick update. Bye, friends. It's my birthday. So I did wind up doing a bunch of stuff this morning. I wound up walking to town. I listened to a little bit of my audiobook, The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Henning. Still really liking that book. I also got to go to the city again with my cousin. It was raining, so our beach day sort of got rained out, but I did get to go to a bookstore. I bought myself a present. I always do on my birthday, and she bought me a present, and we went to the Harry Potter store, mostly because she has not been, and I wanted to go with her. I also finished my book, Tokyo Ever After by Sarah Kuhn. Really liked that. Thought it was super cute. It's definitely a loosely inspired Cinderella story. I thought the romance was really, really fun in that read, but I also thought it was about a lot more about Asian American identity in California. I thought that was really, really fun, and I really, really enjoyed it. Before I had got home, I read to 20% in Burden Falls, which I hadn't really talked about in any of my previous reading vlogs. I am on a blog tour for this. Oh, I have to remember to do that too. I forgot I'm on a blog tour. I have to do that right now before I end this, before I go to bed tonight. But yeah, so I just remembered that. But yeah, I have to double check what my date is. But this is a murder. It's like a mystery. It says it's Riverdale-esque, but you basically follow this character, and her parents died in a tragic car accident about a year ago, and she has to move out of her family home, and it's bought by the people that killed her parents. And I'm liking it so far. I read about 20% really, really quickly, so I am going to go read this after I do make sure my blog post is done for the tavern book. We'll meet in the tavern, so I have to just go do that and double check that everything is applicable for that. But I'm going to read a little bit more of this because it's been a bit since I read it. I read it over the weekend, and when I came home, I was reading other things. So I'm going to go read a little bit more of this. Maybe pick up a new TV show. I did last night. I did finish Nancy Drew season 2. Started watching Jake Ryan. I just was so tired last night. My body was really, really sore from walking. I walked a lot today, but we walked and we got a later start. We didn't walk as much in a row, so I'm just feel like I'm less tight. I am going to physical therapy tomorrow for my neck because I have a knot in the back of my neck that really hurts, so hopefully they can help me. If not, I'll probably wind up going to a massage and see if they can kind of bump it up, but we'll see. Or acupuncture. I don't know. Just something it's just annoying. But I'm going to go double check that my blog tour is not tomorrow. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, friends. Here, I'm back. It is about 1 o'clock. I have about an hour, maybe a little less, before I have to head up to town to see if they can tend to my neck. I tried calling my actual doctor. He is away for the foreseeable future, so I don't know if they're going to let me, be seen by a physical therapist. I hope that they will. If not, I will just have to try something different. But I also did wind up reading a little bit more of The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Hennen. I'm listening to the audiobook of that. Again, that's a reread for me. And I really haven't read anything else of Burden Falls. The only thing I know is that a murder has happened that is very closely connected to Ava. And I feel like she's probably going to get blamed for the murder, and that's probably going to send her on a venture to kind of try to clear her name. So there's a lot of supernatural stuff going on, and I love supernatural-ish mysteries. Even if they're not purely supernatural, those are the mysteries that I really tend to enjoy. So I'm excited. I'll probably read for about a half an hour. I have some true crime videos that I've never watched, so those will probably be my background noise. And before I head out, I will try to update you guys on my thoughts on Burden Falls. Bye, friends. I did wind up going to the physical therapist, and I have to go to another doctor tomorrow, so story will continue with that. But I did wind up reading as I was walking up because my iPod died, which never ever happens because I have the earpods. But I did wind up getting up to chapter 22 in Burden Falls. I'm very intrigued by this story. It definitely has a eerie, creepy tinge to it, but more, I would be shocked if it is supernatural at the end of the day, but I really am liking it. I like Ava as a main character. Also, there's a lot of friendship dynamics and family stuff in here that I don't like. It's just exciting and different. And I'm really enjoying it, quite a bit. Definitely romance is not the start of this, the point of the story. I will say that, there's not really a romance plot as of yet, and I'm about halfway done. So I'm going to make some more reading progress, try to make some progress. My goal for today, and to do my workout in the morning, I do want to scrapbook because it's been a bit since I went to the city and I scrapbook. I was unable to scrapbook for the past couple of days. So I'm probably going to scrapbook tonight and maybe watch a couple of Disney Plus shows that I've just been neglecting. So this is my plan, but I'm going to read a little bit more of this, and I'll give you guys an update when I'm about 60 or 70% in. Bye, friends. Here I'm back. I have about an hour left in my audiobook. I'm on page 80. I'm on chapter 33. Some of the plot twists as this book keeps going on are becoming a little bit predictable, especially in regards to the victims of this story. I'm really intrigued to see how it's all going to shake out in the end, if it is going to be supernatural or if it's going to gear not supernatural. I am really liking it, though. It's a very, very quick paced read. I like the characters. I've never watched Riverdale, but that's sort of what it's pitched as, which I can sort of see because it does have a wide cast of characters. But yeah, I'm really liking it. I'll probably give you guys another check-in when I'm done. I don't know if I'm going to finish it tonight or finish it tomorrow morning, but I'm going to keep reading, watching Legacies, and I'll update you guys when I can. Bye, friends. Laura here. I'm back. It is August 11th. Last night, I did wind up finishing Burden Falls by Kat Ellis. I enjoyed that book. I thought again, murder mysteries, always there's two things I really look for in a murder mystery. Well, three things. The characters. I did really like Ava. I thought her backstory was really interesting. The crimes or the murders that are committed. I thought the murders that were committed in that book were a little bit predictable. But I did not expect the ending. I did not expect the killer. I thought that was a really unique twist. So overall, I would give it a 3.75, 4-star read. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I would definitely read more by that author in the future. I think I still have Harrow Lake. I don't know if I don't know if I got rid of that book, but she wrote that, and that was one that I did have on my TBR. So earlier in this month, one of my TBR prompts was to read a random number generator book, and the book that got picked was We Are the Wildcats. I DNF'd that, so I decided to do another like random number generator, and the book I picked was 5 Kingdoms by Brandon Mull. This also is one of my 5-star read predictions. I'm trying to read them so I can like pick up 5 other ones. I barely have read a chapter in this book, but the only thing I know so far is about this kid named Cole, and it is Halloween, and he is going to this really creepy haunted house, and things I would assume happen. I don't even know like what type of world this is. This guy also wrote the Fablehaven series, which I really, really liked. It's called Skyraider, so I assume it has to do with a sky kingdom, but I don't know. I haven't really read anything about it, but I got this from a book outlet order way back in the day, and it is a 5-star read prediction, so I also do have to go to the doctor for my neck today to see what I did to it. So yeah, I'm gonna go read a little bit. It's also gonna be a scorcher today. It's gonna be like 100 degrees. So I worked out. I went for my bike ride. I'm probably gonna read outside until we go, and then I'm definitely going. My goal for tonight is to finish Legacies and catch up on my YouTube queue. So I'm gonna go read a little bit more of this. Also, I am re-listening to The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Hennen. I really liked that book the first time I read it, but I want to read The Queen Will Save You, and that, or The Queen Will Betray You, and that's, I have to read it, but I want to re-listen to the audiobook. So yeah, I'm gonna go read a little bit more of this, go to my doctor's appointment, and I'll report back when I'm home. Bye. Here, I'm back. I just want to do a quick update. I did wind up reading after my doctor's appointment, which I just have to go to another doctor, so sort of a wasted trip, but that's okay. But I did wind up getting it to page 100 in 5 Kingdoms Sky Raiders. This book is very right off the bat, like it's very unique, very different. I've always liked Brandon Mull's writing style, but you follow this character, let me just remember what his name, I think his name is Cole, and he wants to impress a girl, and they go to like this haunted house, and turns out to not be what they were expecting, and they basically get kidnapped and forced to be slaves, that's the word in this book, in this like mystical kingdom, and he gets sucked into this kingdom and is trying to save his friends, but then he winds up getting taken captive. But he gets taken in by the Sky Raiders, which I think is why this book is called that. And what the Sky Raiders do is there's like these castles in the sky that are basically like, basically left to their own devices. But if you go into them, you can find treasures to keep. But you also have to combat against like all of these like, people are there. So there are things that are trying to like kill you. But since he has the lowest, like he's the newest person, he's basically called a scout, and then you have to, once you do 50 missions, you're basically not a scout anymore. So it's very interesting because right off the bat in this book, we didn't like meet a family. So like he's like literally on his own, and we have no idea what his family situation is like. So also he's very much very, very isolated. Even the friends he got sucked into this magical world with, he's not with them, so I really am liking it right off the bat. I'll be honest, I've been struggling a little bit with my listening, and nothing has really like captured me. It is scorching hot, but I do want to try to go for a walk and like figure out something. I was listening to The Princess That Will Save You, and I'm just not hitting the spot right now. It's a reread for me, so I think I'm gonna try to figure. I also haven't read a nonfiction book this month, so I might try to pick up something like that. So I'm going to go figure out what I want to listen to, because everything I've been picking up has just not been like hitting the spot. I've been in a little bit of a reading slump since last week, but this book I really am liking. I'm definitely enjoying it. So yeah, I'm going to go for a little bit of a walk. I spent the weekend in the city, so I walked a lot, but I haven't walked like during the week. I normally go for at least a walk a day, like an actual walk. So I'm going to go do that, figure out what audiobook I want to listen to, because I've been really, really indecisive. But yeah, I will see you guys when I come back from my walk. Bye, friends. Here I'm back. It's about 7:28. I did wind up reading another 50 pages. So I'm up 156 in Sky Raiders. I'm definitely getting more intrigued by this story as it go on. I would say it's almost like science fiction light, because it has to do with like they're not on Earth, they're in another location, and there's a lot of like flying and science fiction elements, which I'm really liking. I don't feel as connected to the characters as I have in previous Brandon Mull books. Even when I read, what was that book series called? I actually want to really go back and read that in the next couple of months, because the Beyonder series is one that I never got a chance to finish reading. I think I'm going to read that in a middle grade reading vlog I have coming up in the next couple of months. But I don't feel as connected to the characters as I do in previous books, but the world is interesting, and I feel like, again, it's the first book in a series, and it's a pretty long book, so it's a pretty long series from what I remember, but I like it. I think it's fun. I think there's a lot of elements to the story. I like that the elements of the story keep changing. I think the premise is really fun. But yeah, so I'm going to keep reading. I'm also watching Legacies, and I'll give you guys an update when I probably read. My goal is to get up to page 200 before I go to bed tonight, or like stop reading. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Sorry, here, just checking back in. It is August 12th, so that means I'm almost halfway through the month, which means I have to go back to work in September. But I did wind up getting up to page 200 in Sky Raiders, The Five Kingdoms. This book is I'm liking it. I don't think it's my favorite middle grade series to date, but I do like his world building a lot. And the story structure has changed a lot, especially from beginning, middle, and end. I'm about 50% in. The characters are growing on me, and the world is growing on me. I think we're getting more characters in this story, and they're not the characters I was expecting to become so fond of. So as the story goes on, I am really liking it. And there's a lot of multiple plot points in this story that are really pushing the story forward. So I'm about 200 pages into this. I would love to finish this book today, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm also listening to The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Hennen. I'm about 5 hours left in that audiobook. That is a reread for me. I remember how the book ends, but I don't remember how we got there. But that features such a fun romance, which is definitely one of my favorite tropes in YA fantasy. So I'm really excited for that. It is going to be another scorcher heat day today. It's going to be like 100. So I'm going to try to go for my bike ride early and just try to stay cool. But yeah, that's my plan for today. Yeah, I also haven't filmed any YouTube videos in about 2 weeks because last week I was away. So tomorrow I think is probably going to be, and I did get this little guy from when I went to the Harry Potter store. I know there's so much controversy about Owl Crate right now. I'm not sure how I really feel about it, but just everything on Twitter. I've been trying to avoid Twitter because it's such a toxic place. But if you guys want my thoughts about the Owl Crate situation, comment and I'll try to make a video because I think my take is a little bit different than anyone else's. Sorry, that was like a bit of a tangent. But I am going to go get ready for my bike ride, and hopefully by the time you see me, I will have read at least 50 more pages of this. But so far, I like it. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star read. This was a 5-star read prediction for me, but the end of the book might wow me. We will see. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye, friends. I'm back. She filmed this clip earlier on how to take it out because I said something that I shouldn't have said accidentally, so yeah, let's get into it. But last night I did wind up reading, and this morning I did wind up reading a little bit more of Five Kingdoms Sky Raiders. I'm definitely enjoying this book. Definitely not my favorite middle grade read of all time, but I'm hopeful I will make some more progress on it today. There has been so much drama this past week about Owl Crate. If you've been following me for a while, you know I've been a long-time Owl Crate supporter. I think I supported Owl Crate since their book box started. I love Owl Crate. I still love Owl Crate. I think that their boxes are great, but I am also very critical of J.K. Rowling. Ever since the comments she's been making about the trans community, I have really tried to distance myself from her. Now, I know that if you're going to see my vlogs in the next couple of months, I'm going to Harry Potter World. I've been to the Harry Potter store. It's, some of these experiences I never had a chance to experience before. Like, I never had a chance to go to the park before. And I want to go to the park because I've never really been there, and it's been something I've been waiting like 11 years to do. Ever since that park opened, I've really wanted to go. So I am not going to limit myself in enjoyment just because I was not able to go there. I was very pleased last summer when Owl Crate decided to not include items in their book boxes anymore. It's been about a year since they made that decision, and I was also a little bit concerned about their mug collection because I will always love the story of Harry Potter. That's just how I've always felt. Harry Potter, to me, will always have a really close place in my heart. And even beyond Harry Potter, I found like a little community in the podcast that I listen to, and I just love talking about Harry Potter, and the characters mean so much to me. So when they made that decision, I was okay with that, and they said eventually you will be able to complete your mug collection. I still have all my mugs. I love my mugs. I love supporting small creators that, use Harry Potter because that's what I like to do. However, this past week they decided to also release all the mugs, so I was able to complete my collection, and I did buy that because that's the one thing I was waiting for. But then they made the decision to also include Harry Potter items in their boxes again, and I'm sorry, that is something that I just can't get behind. So I did wind up pausing my subscription. I'm probably going to give it a couple months and just, not renew it and see what happens. I know that they're getting a lot of backlash, and I have decided to either go to Illumicrate, Fairy Loot, or Unplugged. I'm going to get the Unplugged box in September and see how I like it. I've gotten Fairy Loot before, and I've never gotten a Illumicrate, so I definitely have some options, but it's just really, really disappointing. I'm a little bit bummed. I'm just as bummed as I was about Book Outlet when they made those controversial opinions, and it's just unfortunate. I love what I will probably do is I will probably look at the book that they chose, and I'll probably get it from like an online independent bookstore, because I do think that Karina and her team do put really, really good books, and I'm just sad that I can't support them anymore, or I won't support them anymore. So you'll probably see 1 or 2 unboxings from me from Owl Crate, and then I probably won't have them for the foreseeable future. And I'll talk about that when I do my Owl Crate unboxing. But I also did wind up getting up to page 222 in Sky Raiders. I really am liking this book. It's very, very fun. It definitely is very reminiscent of like a starter book in a series. I don't feel super connected to the characters, but I am liking it. So I'm gonna go read a little bit more, and I'll update you guys when I get up to page like 250. Bye, friends. Checking back in, I did wind up getting up to page 250. This book is going in a really unique direction that I don't think I anticipated. The main point of view in this story is definitely not the point of view that I would have predicted like pretty far into this book. I really am liking it. I like Cole as the main character, and I like that this book, one of my favorite tropes in middle grade reads is like a trio, or like a group of characters that are sort of forced to work together, that it wasn't always the plan of attack. And I just really, really like the story. Like, I've always loved Brandon Mull's writing. He's probably one of my favorite middle grade authors behind behind Rick Riordan, like older, because he has a lot of series. I really am liking it, though. I'm very intrigued where the story is going to go. It seems it lacks like a little bit of direction, because there is a main point that Cole wants. He wants to like find his friends, but then other things starts getting put in his path that's like distracting him. But I'm really intrigued. So I'm about 50% in. My goal is to finish this book today as well. I'm gonna go try to sit outside. It's just so hot, and but again, I live in New York. We don't have like beautiful weather all year round, so try to enjoy my sunshine while I can. So I'm gonna try to sit outside for a little bit and read. But yeah, that's sort of my thoughts. But I'll talk to you guys when I get up to page maybe like 300. So see you guys in a bit. Bye. Here I'm back. It's about 2:10. I did wind up getting up to page 325 in my book, Sky Raiders. I really am liking it. It's definitely taking some interesting twists and turns, and this definitely reminds me of like a Percy Jackson book, because especially the first couple books in that series are very, very whimsical and very, very fantastical, and have elements of like worlds that are just super fun for younger kids, and I do like that. And it also has a pretty wide cast of characters. Like, this book is not like a one world story. You get to see a lot of it. Reminds me a little bit of Casper Tock and the Everdark Wings when I read that. But this one has more of like a science fiction-y twist. But yeah, I was gonna go out for dinner, but my friend had to cancel. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for a walk, because it's still very, very hot outside, but I've been trying to force myself to go for a walk every single day. I did a bike ride. I'm gonna scrapbook. I've been trying to scrapbook for 30 minutes every single day, which is been a process. I'm gonna try to do that, and then my goal is to just try to finish this. So this book is not that long. I'm on page 324, and I only have to get up to page 416. So definitely doable. I can probably finish this by the end of today. But I'm gonna go for a bike ride. I'm also going to a walk. I'm gonna try to listen to a little bit more of The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Hennen, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye, friends. Lori here. I'm back. I just want to do a quick update. I did wind up finishing The Five Kingdoms by Brandon Mull. I will admit, I like this book. I don't think it was my favorite that I've ever read by Brandon Mull. And recently, when I have read new like middle grade series, I have just like devoured them and wanted to read them. But The world does remind me of like the First Keeper book. I like the First Keeper book. It wasn't my favorite, but this book is definitely a world that I think I would like. I think as the story went on and as we kind of grew more connected to all the characters, I think I really did enjoy it. So I'd probably give this book like 4 stars, maybe like 3.75 stars. I did enjoy it. I'll definitely keep reading. I'll probably see if I can get the books from my library. I did get this from an older book outlet order. But yeah, so I do want to finish just saying this one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick, I have some categories that I'm going to choose, and I'm going to kind of do a random number generator, but the categories I'm going to pull from is ebook, 5-star read predictions, TBR card, newly purchased, regular list, my seasonal list, my e-arcs, or my games. So that's, I have 8 categories. I'm going to pick one, and we're going to see what it is. Sorry, you're going to see me like not looking at you. But yeah, I've been like really like indecisive about what I want to read. So we will see what it picks. So it's 1 to 8. Let's see. Ooh, 4. All right, let's see. What is number 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, I get to pick a newly purchased book that I just bought. This is exciting news because I just did a big, like, massive order. I just got back from a big shopping trip in New York City, so I'm gonna go pick a newly purchased book to read, and I will talk to you guys soon, or when I choose it. Bye, friends. So I did wind up choosing one of my categories, and the thing I purchased was a newly purchased book. So I have like 155 books that I can choose from, and I feel very, very indecisive. So I'm gonna go just do a random number generator and see what I get, and then we'll come back and we'll chat about it. Actually, so excited for this one. I got picked was Pride and Premeditation by Tiersten Price. This wasn't out a Barnes & Noble YA pick. And it's Pride and Prejudice gets a murder mystery makeover in a new series based on Jane Austen's most beloved books. And see a scandalous murder shocks London society, and Lizzie Benjamin sees the perfect opportunity to prove herself a formidable litigator. And then Mr. Darcy is a lawyer. Yeah, this sounds great. I do like a good like Jane Austen story, and I think the murder mystery twist will probably work for it. I read like Death Comes to Pemberley a couple of years back, and I wasn't the biggest fan, but I am hopeful that I will like this one. So yeah, this is the book that I'm gonna pick up. I'm really excited for this, but I'm gonna try to get ready for bed, but like, you know, organize my life. And then I'm probably going to pick this up as I'm watching Legacies. But yeah, I'm super excited, and I'll give you guys my thoughts as I'm reading it. Bye, friends. I'm back. It's about 9:09. I have been really struggling the last couple of weeks. I just haven't found a book that like captured me from like page 1. It's been a few books. I would say since like the start of August, I've been just struggling to find books that have really like captured me and like I really, really enjoyed. I've been reading a lot of like three-star reads, but Pride and Premeditation, I think just because I know the characters like right off the bat, I really like it. It's basically follow Lizzie, and it takes place like, you know, in Jane Austen time period. And her dad is a lawyer, and she really wants to be a lawyer. She's very, very good at it. But the book starts off with Collins taking her idea and basically solving this case. So her father, who is very, very supportive of her, says the only way he will consider making her a legislator or like a lawyer is if she can prove to him by logic that she deserves a case. So she winds up taking up this murder case and winds up crossing paths with Darcy. And it's just so fun. I read like 60 pages, and honestly, I could read this book all night because it's just so fun. Been reading a lot of Regency romances recently, like in the last like year and a half, and I have yet to find a mystery historical fiction book that has really captured me. This one might be it though. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I am in the middle. I'm also in the middle of watching Legacies. I will check in with you guys tomorrow. I have to do some filming tomorrow and figure out what videos I want to put up on my channel. So I'll kind of figure that part out tomorrow. But I will see you guys tomorrow. But yeah, really, really, really enjoying this book right off the bat. I definitely was in a bit of a reading slump, and I think just characters that I know might be the thing to pull me out of it. Not even a reading slump, just like I was not engaged in the books I was reading. But I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, friends. I'm back. So I didn't wind up updating this morning, but I did wind up spending the whole day. I sort of organized a bunch of stuff. I did all my errands. I wasn't home last week, so I wasn't home last weekend, so I didn't get to film anything. So I filmed a couple of videos, all the fun stuff. I did a bit of thinking about for like Christmas next year. I know I start planning really, really early. But that's just the way it goes when you craft. But last night I did wind up getting up to page 62 in Pride and Premeditation. I really am liking this book. Also this morning I did wind up finishing The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Hennen, and I picked two other audiobooks. One when I was just sort of like going through my errand stuff, and one when I walked to town. I picked up The Falconer, and also it's like a cozy sort of mystery novel that I'm really excited for. It's been on my TBR forever. So those are my two audiobooks. It has finally cooled down, so I could probably sit outside for a little bit and read. My goal is to make my way through my YouTube queue today, which will be nice. But yeah, I read about 60 pages of this and didn't make much reading progress. I know I've been talking, I don't know how many clips I've kept in, because my opinion has been like changing. I still don't know how I feel about the owl crate situation. I'm very, very torn on it, to be honest, so I don't know. I did wind up ordering the mugs, and I don't know how else I'm going to support that company in the future, so I'm going to take a few months of a break from Owl Crate Senior. I have been wanting to get a few more books for my classroom, so I'm going to get the Owl Crate Junior box just so I can get some books for my kids and also some like prizes for them. And then I will sort of see how I feel in about 3 months, and then I'll kind of pop back in. I understand all the criticism. I totally get it. I understand. But everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So I'm going to kind of give me like a couple of months off. I might wind up getting Fairy Loot or a Luma Crate. Those waiting lines are super long. So I might just wait and just see like what the boxes are or what my luck turns out. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I do want to definitely get a book box. In September, I'm getting Unplugged and no other book box. So I might get Owl Crate or Luma Crate. Not Owl Crate or Fairy Loot, but again, we'll talk about that when I do my last Owl Crate unboxing because it's going to be in a couple of months. But I'm going to go start Pride and Premeditation, and I'll give you guys my thoughts when I read about, maybe get up to page 100, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, friends. I'm back. It's about 5:48. I did wind up getting a little bit of lunch. I'm in the middle of still watching some YouTube videos, but I did wind up getting up to page 112 and Pride and Premeditation. I am really quite fond of this book, like right off the bat. I love Lizzie Bennet as a character, but I also think she would be a very, very good person to solve a mystery. But I just like her. I also think that this book is very, very rich because it really does dive deep into the worldview that women are only meant to get married, and that's not Lizzie's path. Lizzie really wants to be considered as a lawyer, and she's kind of working this case to prove that to her dad. But there's also a very interesting debate happening between her and Caroline, which is her friend that works at the law office here. I don't know I can't remember. It's been a bit since I read Pride and Prejudice, but I'm just really enjoying it. Like, it's very, very fun and very reminiscent of that time period, but it also does dive into more like important issues like lower classes and like what that means, and Lizzie's pathway, her drivenness and her determination to not fall into the trappings of being a normal woman in society get her into a little bit of trouble, and I think that that's very interesting and I'm really liking it. But the mystery is also really compelling, and I'm very, very intrigued to see what happens. So yeah, I'm going to read about 50 more pages, and then I'll give you guys another check-in. But so far, this is really, really fun. I'm really glad that I picked it up. I like that it's going to be a series. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I love Lizzie Bennet as a character. She's definitely one of my favorite heroines, only second to Emma, who I also really enjoy. But yeah, so I'm very, very fun. We have met the infamous Mr. Darcy. We have also met Wickham, which I am liking. We also got to see Jane, which is great. So, just some familiar friends to enjoy on my reading journey. So, I'll check in with you guys in a little bit, and hopefully maybe the mystery will kick up a little bit because it's right at the starting point of the mystery. But so far, I'm really liking it. I like that I finally found a book that has a mystery component and is historical fiction, because so many books I've read recently have the mystery element has been severely lacking. So this is a very, very strong mystery and does deal with the time period that I really am enjoying. So definitely a win so far, and would definitely recommend as of right now. Could change, but so far very, very fun, and it's captivating me from page 1, which has been sorely lacking in the last couple of reads that I picked up. So I'll give you guys a check-in when I am read a little bit more of this. Bye, friends. Here, I didn't wind up updating any more last night. I just got like a little bit distracted, and I fell down a YouTube hole and watched truly weird videos, nothing really exciting. But this morning I accidentally mixed up where my yoga class was, so I went to a yoga class that wasn't happening. So I did actually wind up reading quite a bit more of Pride and Premeditation. I really am liking this book quite a bit. It's just so fun, but it's also diving into like a lot of topics that you don't often see talked about in like modern historicals that I read. So I just like it. I love the mystery element. I love how we are so, like, I'm so familiar with this cast of characters. It's just fun. I think it's very, very fun, very, very fast paced. Really like Lizzie as a character. I also like all the side characters. I think the mystery is super engaging, and I think being in Lizzie's head is just super fun. I'm really, really loving this book quite a bit. So my goal is to finish a couple more YouTube videos. It is scorching hot out, so I'm probably going to do what I did yesterday. I'm probably going to stay inside most of the day, and then when it hits like cool, I'll probably go back outside, but it's very, very sunny outside right now. So I'm going to read a little bit more, and I will check in with you guys when I probably get up to page like 300. I really am liking it. We're right at the climax point of this story. It's very, very fun, or like potentially a climax point, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm gonna go read a little bit more, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Do a quick update. I'm about to head to town, but guys, I'm adoring this book. Like, I love this book so much, and it's funny, it's been a bit since I've read like any Pride and Prejudice retellings like that have like the real characters. I'm adoring this book. There's so many unexpected twists and turns in this story that I'm loving it. Like, I can't wait to see what happens next. I can't wait to see how this story ends. It's great. I love Lizzie as a main character. I love her parents. I think it is spectacular. I love the mystery elements. That's definitely my favorite part. But Lizzie as a character and her interest in law is probably one of my favorite parts in the story. And Lizzie's not a perfect character. And I think you could see that sort of throughout the book as she interacts with, like, her Charlotte and her parents and Darcy and Wickham and Collins. It's a really interesting story, and I love the mystery at the heart of it. I also love how Lizzie's like very much looking at the world. It's totally different than other people look at the world, and I really am enjoying that. My goal is I'm going to head up to town, probably get some food. I'm probably going to try to finish a majority of this on the walk too. I don't have a lot left, but I'm I'm so glad I picked this up, because it's been the first book in a while that I haven't wanted to put down, so really liking it. So I'm gonna head to town, and hopefully when I come back I will have some concluding thoughts for this for you. But talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. I'm actually here to wrap up this reading vlog. Actually, this was a little bit of a weird reading week for me, I will be honest. I like the books that I read, but I didn't love any of them, minus the last book in this reading vlog. The first book I finished was Wit Tokyo with Love, which I think was probably my second favorite. That was a book that I started before I went on my vacation, and it is basically a loosely inspired Cinderella retelling. I really like that. Probably gave that book 4 stars, but I don't really count it in this reading vlog because I finished most of it before I started this reading vlog. I also read Burden Falls by Kat Ellis. I liked it. It was a murder mystery that was okay. It didn't wow me, but I liked it. I'm on a blog tour that I have to do in the end of the month. And the next book I picked up was Five Kingdoms, or Sky Raiders by Brandon Mull. Again, I liked it. It was a starting book in a series. I enjoyed it. I struggled to feel connected to the characters, and the storyline didn't capture me as much as his previous books have. And then I just finished Pride and Premeditation by what's her name? Trisha Price. Really like this one. I thought this was such a solid Pride and Prejudice retelling. Like, I thought it was great. You can see Pride and Prejudice retelling so often, and especially in regards to Regency romances. Finding the mystery element in Regency I have not seen, so I like that she took a little bit more liberties with this story, but I loved it. We're gonna get a second one. It's not like it's more of a companion book, but I love the mystery element to this because Lizzie was really focused on working in the law firm that her dad runs, and I thought that she just kind of tied all the characters in so well. As a reader, I forgot the actual plot of Pride and Prejudice because I was so invested. I forgot, like, I was so engrossed, I didn't think of anything else I knew outside of the story. but definitely my favorite read of this week. I really enjoyed it, and it definitely helped me read a book this week that I really enjoyed. Also, in this reading vlog, I finished The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Hennen, which again was a 5-star read for me. And I picked up 2 other audiobooks, but I'll talk about that in my next reading vlog. But I'll talk to you guys for my next reading vlog, and we'll chat soon. Bye, friends.